What's up, guys? It's Wes from Strung from Above, here to do a shaft review with Lacrosse Playground on the Joule Lacrosse lev shaft. So in this video, we're going to be going over the appearance of the shaft, the overall weight, overall feel of the shaft, and the cost of the shaft. Now, the lev shaft comes in 30-inch attack, 40-inch goalie, 60-inch defense, and comes in the colors of gunmetal black, navy blue, and candy red. This is an example of candy red. So up first is appearance. When I first got to see the lev shaft up close, I was immediately drawn to its circular, ovalish figure. As you can tell, it's very ovalish, I guess. But you know, there's not. It's very unique. There's not another shaft on the market right now that is like this in any way. You know, metallic colors stand out tremendously. Very, you know, eyes go straight to the shaft. You know, futuristic lettering and all this. I mean, this shaft looks like it's like from the future, basically. And you know, looking throughout the whole shaft, it's very oval. It's oval all the way down, and then towards the top, it gets cuts off and back to the octagon-looking shape, so that you can fit the standardized lacrosse head on there. But you know, overall, great looking appearance for the lev shaft, and you know, Joule Lacrosse did a great job with it. So up next, we're gonna go over the weight of the lev shaft. You know, the Joule Lacrosse lev shaft weighs 240 grams. You know, it's a little bit heavier than your typical metal alloy shaft, but trust me when I tell you that this thing is a monster. Like, if you put this up against another shaft on the market right now and you whack them together, this thing will break the competition in two. Like, this thing is a tank. Like, and you know, you trust me, you do not want to get hit with this, because I mean, this hurts. So overall, you know, weight, it's a little bit heavier, but you know, it makes up for that. Next up is the overall feel of the lev shaft. Like I said earlier in the video, the shaft is very circular, very ovalish. It's going to feel very different from what you're used to. It's almost like you're holding a broomstick of some sort. It's you know, it's going to feel very awkward at first. Let me be the first one to tell you that. But you know, after you give it, you know, practice with it a little bit and everything like that, you know, you start to use it. You know, I like it a lot. You know, looking at feeling the overall shaft and everything like that, it's you know, there's not a lot of friction on the shaft. You know, which is good and bad for some players depending on what you like. I personally like to tape the bottom of my sticks from like probably from like where it says Joule across down to here, just so I can get that nice grip on my shot. You know, but you know, overall, the shaft compared to metal shafts and you know, other type of, you know, octagon shaped shafts, is that when, you know, when it sits in your palm, right? Let me pull this one out real quick. So when you pull up like an octagon shaped shaft, you know, like this Vapor Elite, it sits, you know, it sits at an angle in your palm. So what the lev shaft does is that it eliminates that, you know, the whole side thing, and it sits flush in your hand, so that when you go to pass the ball, you know, it's very straight on, point on, and everything like that. While when you pass with like a, you know, an octagon shaped shaft, it could be slide off a little bit, and that could, you know, decrease your accuracy in your passing and all that. Another thing is that with the lev shaft, is that when you look at it, the whole shaft is from here to here, it's very stiff. But as soon as you get to here, there's a bunch of flex points in the top part of the shaft, so that when you go to shoot, right, when you're shooting, the bottom part stays very stiff, but the top part flexes a little bit, so you can increase your shot speed. And then on top of that, with the whole thing with the palm being flush and everything like that, you know, increases your passing and all that. So overall, great feel to the shaft. It will definitely help improve your game, and definitely make you a better player. So lastly, what we're going to talk about is the cost of the lev shaft. Now, the lev shaft costs $129.99. It's a little bit expensive. You know, but it's not the most expensive shaft on the market, but it is up there. However, trust me when I tell you that this shaft is worth it. It is a monster. And you know, when you're only buying, you know, like one shaft, it's pretty worth it because you know, count on it to not break on you, and it can give a it can give a beating. So you know, coming from a college kid like myself, you know, 130, you know, it's kind of pricey, you know, but you know, when you're playing with it all the time and everything like that, it's pretty worth it. So you know, price a little bit pricey, but extremely worth it. So you know, in conclusion, Joule Lacrosse did an amazing job designing the lev shaft. This thing, the engineering that was put into the shaft is phenomenal. Huge props to the Joule Lacrosse design team for this one. I mean, this shaft is a monster. It does everything and improves your game. Looks cool, looks great. You know, it's an amazing shaft, and you know, I'm very excited to see what Joule Lacrosse has next for us. You know, as a young company, starting off strong is always important, and they definitely started strong with this one. This thing is a monster. You should, you know, look into it and invest in one of these. These things are amazing. You know, anyways, that's it for me. This is Wes, Strung from Above, Lacrosse Playground, signing off. See you guys.